Hello and welcome to Workout Wednesday for Power BI 2023 week 27. This week we've got a little bit of Power Query and a little bit of data viz to make a tree map. We're using two different data sets here, data sources rather, to create our single data set. And we're going to merge those data sets together, filter it a little, and create our tree map with some tooltips and use the Viridis color palette. So let's get started. To do the pagination, I'll show you what the source looks like here. We have a table of S&P 500 companies listed by their stock symbol, market cap, sector, industry, etc. And it is paginated, 50 companies per page, and we need to handle that pagination in Power Query. Do that by creating a function to create a function. I'm going to do blank query, go in the advanced editor, and I'm just going to paste mine in. So I'm going to pass my function the page number, but it's going to be a text value instead of a number. I've got my source, and it's going web.browser contents to the URL. If you notice, the URL is the same, and then it has a page query string argument at the end. And I used, when I first did this, I went into just get data and chose web to figure out what the table is and pulled it from there. And then it automatically promoted headers and changed types. So I put that into a function, and I'll show you what it looks like on the first page real quick. So when the navigator comes up, we'll see a list of tables, and this top S&P 500 is the one that we want. So you just choose that. And if you want that to write your M code first, that's fine. You can probably do this without a function, but I prefer with. So we'll do that. And then to call that, I'm going to write another query. And for me, it really is easier to just start with a blank query. That's what I did when I first wrote this. And then I might have added a couple steps at the end using the applied steps in the GUI and all that. The important part here is we create a list of pages, 1 to 10, because we have 10 pages we need to navigate through. And then we turn that list into a table with a column called pages. Then we can invoke our custom function. How this works if you use the GUI. Oh, forgot to delete my comma. So here's my list of pages 1 through 10 that got turned into a table containing one column called pages. I can now invoke a custom function for a column. And we're going to pass in pages, so I'm just going to call it what the function was called. And for every page, it's returning a table. So now I can expand that table and choose which columns I want. I already have the company name and the stock symbol, but I would like the rest of these. Oh, I forgot to remove the column name prefix. So now I have pages, ranking, market cap, country, sector, industry. Oh, I forgot stock symbol. That's what we're going to join on. And then I can fix my data types here. You'll notice every so many there'll be a null row, so we need to filter out the nulls. And then we really don't need the pages anymore, so we'll remove that. And let's call that S&P industry sector. Then we can do a new source from the web, and this one is from Slick Charts. So this is the table we're after, the components of the S&P 500. You'll see it also has a ranking, company symbol, weight, price, all that. So we're going to pull that in. This is our table. And we're going to call this company weight. So that's our two sources. I noted in the exercise that the actual companies, all 500 of them, may not line up. The last 20 may have discrepancies, and that's okay for our purposes. We are going to merge our queries as a new query. And we're going to merge based on the symbol. So we got 457, that's fine. And we can actually change this to inner. And then we can expand. I actually want the weight from the company weight, or the ranking from the company weight rather. So I don't need the ranking from the industry sector. I've already got the stock symbol. I do want the market cap. I don't really care about the country. I can take it or leave it. If you want to throw it in the tooltips, you can. And then there's one more thing, because we want to use the market cap as our size of rectangles. But right now it's a text field. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to leave that one there because we might want to use it as a label. We're going to duplicate the column. We're going to replace, to get rid of the $sign. And then we're going to split this new field. So we're going to say split column by delimiter, and the delimiter is going to be a space. So that gets all the B's and T's for billions and trillions in a separate column. And then we're going to add a custom column. This could be a conditional column, or you can just write your own logic. So I'm going to add a custom column. Let's call this market cap amount. Oh, I forgot to rename my fields real quick. Hold on. This will be market cap format. This one will be market cap amount. Okay. So market cap amount is just a decimal number right now. Market cap format is the B or T. And then in our custom column, we're going to say if market cap format equals B, then we're going to multiply by a billion. If it equals T, then a million or a trillion. Else, if it equals M, then we can do a million, else null. There should be no nulls. So now we've got a real number. We can delete those two intermediate columns. And you could have done this all in one column with some extra M code, but this is fine. We're going to remove those columns. So now we still have market cap USD, that is a text value, and here's the market cap amount. And it can be a whole number. You can go back through, make sure all of our data types are good. Let's call this ranking and then we're going to filter the ranking less than or equal to 250. All right, this looks good. So now I'm going to disable the load on my original two tables and let it load the main table. This might take a couple minutes. I've noticed that website is a little slow to respond. All right, not much DAX in this one. The best practice to make explicit measures. So if you want to do a quick measure for market cap, you can. And then we'll make a tree map. I basically let the tree map take up most of my page. We're going to do sector, symbol, market cap, the actual numerical value, and then we can put industry, company, market cap, and weight in the tooltips, but I don't like the automatic names it gives them. I added a little note at the bottom, and then you'll notice Power BI chooses atrocious colors, and we've got some extra formatting to do. So let's go to our tree map. The legend is off. The first thing we can do is fix our colors. Linked in the exercise to a Viridis color palette generator that I like. You can really choose any of these palettes, but Viridis is the yellow, green, purple one versus Magma is yellow, orange, purple. So I'm staying with Viridis, and we need like 11 or 12 colors. I think what I did was do 13, but I skipped the first color because it was awfully light, and because we can't really control the borders around our sections, around our individual companies very well. I wanted to start with something that wasn't so light yellow, and I just went clockwise. So I manually changed these to say this one is light green, financials is another green. You can kind of set these, well, some of these colors, because we need more colors than are available in a Power BI color palette, but to make them available, but they won't automatically show up in the right order. So there's still a bit of manual work in here. We'll do industrials, consumer staples, basic materials, real estate, utilities, energy, consumer discretionary, communication services, and healthcare. So there's our colors, but you'll notice light text on a light background is difficult to read. So we're going to have to fix that. So we'll turn on our data labels because we do want those. And we'll make this din 8. And we're going to use basically the same formula for the sections as the data labels. So we'll just start with, are the categories as the data labels. So we're going to say rules if the industry, and you could do this in DAX, but I'm just going to do it here. I didn't go for pure black, just a very dark gray or light black. So basically, if it's those first 4, we want black text. Otherwise, it's going to show up as white. Oh, this should be sector, not industry. All right, there we go. And then we'll do the same thing here. Let's keep our font consistent. So if it's one of those 4, something dark. Otherwise, white text. Give it a second and it will show up. The tree map is a little slow to render when you have 250 objects with labels. We need to fix, I think I did billions, our data labels. So I, when it renders, there we go, went ahead and changed this to billions. At some point, you will not be able to read them. That's okay. Tree maps are big picture things, and we can hover when we get to one that we can't read outright. Let us fix our title. We'll make this 200 since that's what I did, and I only filtered by 250 back in Power Query. We need to add our subtitle. I said size represents market cap. Colors are used to identify sectors. And then don't forget to do things like adding the alt text here and on your tree map. check our tab order. This should go up. We want to read the tree map first. I did fix my colors after filtering down to 200 and just put them back in the right order so the top has the light colors. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed this week's Workout Wednesday for Power BI. Thanks for watching.